Okay, good morning, boys and girls. Today in 7th grade math, we're talking about the probability of events. Specifically, we're talking about two kinds of probability, what's called theoretical probability and experimental. Alright, to explain, theoretical probability is what it's supposed to be in theory. So, for instance, if you're rolling a die, the probability of rolling a 1 should be 1 out of 6, which you take your handy dandy calculator out, should be approximately about 0.17. So, according to mathematical laws, the probability of rolling a 6 on a standard 6-sided die is 1 out of 6. So, the probability of rolling a 1 on a standard 6-sided die is 1 out of 6, about 0.17, about 17%. Now, that's in theory. Now, if I was actually to take out a die and start rolling it, and suppose I got a 2, then a 4, then another 4, a 5, a 1, a 3, a 6, a 1. That would be my experiment. The experimental probability is what happens in the experiment. So to find the experimental probability, I got 1 twice out of 8 attempts. That gives me a 0.25 experimental probability. Mr. Davis, those answers are different. Yes, they are. Real life data won't necessarily match what the theory says it's supposed to. Now, if you do this result, these trials a lot, this number should get closer and closer to this number, otherwise something's a little funky going on. Perhaps the dice not weighed properly, or someone's cheating. The next question is, Mr. Davis, why do we even have two separate types of probability? Well, often this number is hard to actually know. So, if you do enough of an experiment, you start figuring out what the theoretical probability probably is around. Because if you do enough trials, what it's called every time you attempt something, this number should get closer and closer to this number. So theoretical probability is what it's supposed to be, in theory. Experimental probability is what actually happened when you tried it. Experimental probability will get closer and closer to theoretical if you increase the number of trials, unless something else is going on. Perhaps you're not dealing with another variable, perhaps something's wrong with the die, perhaps someone's cheating. Also, the assignment has a question I don't really like that keeps showing up. They ask you what the theoretical probability of the teacher giving you the assignment is. They say it's 50% because either they give an assignment or don't give the assignment. I don't agree with that logic, but they give you that question, just answer 50%. Okay, any other questions? Please email me, as always. We'll be discussing how to find the probability of more complicated events like rolling a die and drawing a card next time.